Hi everyone, welcome back to Queen of the Household. Today I want to talk to you about a very popular book. It came out a couple of years ago here in the United States, and it was The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo, also known as the KonMari Method. And I mean, it just took the internet by storm. I feel like almost every single blog I was reading at that time talked about it and talked about how wonderful it was, and I was just seeing it everywhere on the internet. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to get my hands on this because I love organizing and decluttering, so that's right up my alley. So I ended up reserving it at my public library. I was 23rd on the list for the large print. If I'd gotten the regular print, I would have been like 40th or 50th. So I went with the large print, and it took me, I think I waited like 3 or 4 months to get this book. So anyways, I finally got the book and I brought it home, and I was so excited to read it, and I started reading it, and all of a sudden, like, my hopes for this book just kind of deflated. And I kept reading this book thinking, everyone else loves it. Why don't I love it? It's got to get better. There's got to be something in here that just blows my mind with how amazing organization is and how it's going to change my life. And she never really did that. And so I know there's a lot of people, obviously, that love this book. And so I don't want to like bash anyone who has used it and loved it. I don't want to bash Marie at all, okay? But I feel like she kind of missed some things that could have been talked about. And so first of all, I want to share with you what I did love about her book. So I love that she said, take everything of one item, like one category in your home. So I think she says start with your shirts. So she says pull out every single shirt that you have anywhere in your home. If it's in your closet or your dressers or the living room, wherever they are, get all of your shirts together and lay them all out on the floor so that you can see exactly how many shirts you own, which I think is a fabulous idea, because then you are getting a visual for just how many you have, and you're like, wow, I maybe have too many shirts. So I think that's a great way to declutter any space, is to get it all out and see what you have. And then the second thing that I loved is she said that we don't really need fancy organization tools or containers. She says that whatever's in our home is probably all that we need. So she said use shoe boxes, use plastic tubs that you have, just get creative. And I love that. I think that a lot of times we think we have to go out and spend all this money on organizational things, and all of a sudden our space will be organized, but it doesn't have to be that way. And that's something that I do on a regular basis, is just use items that I already have. Okay, so that's what I did love about the book. And I would say that this is a great book for anyone who has just a lot of things and wants to really pare down, or someone who is just like a normal person, normal amount of things, but they want to live a very minimalist lifestyle. I think that would be another person that would really benefit from this book. So I don't know that all of us fit into that category. I think other people that just, we don't want to be overwhelmed with our stuff. We want to have an organized life. I think there are better ways and different ways that we can go about doing that. So today I want to talk to you about 4 things that I feel like the KonMari Method kind of missed. And so number 1, it is not about sparking joy. Not everything is about sparking joy, I should say. So in her book, Marie said that the only question you have to ask when you are trying to get rid of something or keep it is, does it spark joy? Our lives are much more in depth and have many more layers than just joy. When I'm trying to decide whether or not I should get rid of my grandmother's bracelets, I don't think, does this spark joy? I have to ask myself other questions besides that. When you go through your children's toys, does it spark joy? Well, that's not the only question I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask, does my son use this often? Is it too big for our space? Is it for a younger age than what he's currently at, things like that. And I think that's okay. You don't have to just stick with, does it spark joy? The second thing that I didn't really care for in her book was that she kind of made organization inconvenient. So there were a couple of things. Like, one thing she said was that when you fold your socks. They shouldn't fold into each other because you're stretching out the socks, and socks have worked hard for you during the day, and they shouldn't be stretched out working again in the drawer, in your dresser drawer. And so I think that just complicates things. Listen, fold up your socks, throw them in the drawer. Don't make it complicated, okay? And then another thing she said was, like when you get home, and a way to keep your purse clutter-free is to empty all of the objects out, lay them out on a shelf or a drawer, and then in the morning, put them back into your purse and go out throughout your day. And I think that is such an inconvenience, and it's not important. It's not essential. You don't need to make organization harder than it should be. Organization should make your life easier, not add extra steps to your lives. The third thing that I think Marie missed was that seasons of our lives change, and therefore our belongings change. So as I was reading this book, she talked about how her clients never returned back, or not never, the majority of her clients never returned back to their old lifestyle, and that they stayed clutter-free. And so I was assuming that Marie was like in her 60s or 70s as I'm reading this, thinking that, she's worked with people for decades and, she's had all this success. Well, come to find out, she's like 30, or she's probably older than that now, like 32 or 33. Like she just had a baby, her first baby, not too long ago. So that tells me that her clients that have had all these success stories haven't been living for decades. They haven't gone through changes in their lives, like getting married. Well, maybe some of them have, but getting married, changing jobs, having lots of kids, inheriting a deceased relative's belongings. All of those things bring different clutter and belongings into your life, and you have to figure out what you're going to do with them. So decluttering is not a one-time fix. And I feel like in her book, she just says basically that you do this once and you're good. And that's not the case. It's a continual process. It's something that we have to continually be thinking about. Do I need these items in my home? Are they the best use here in my home? And then the fourth way that I believe the KonMari method missed the mark is she didn't share how to stop the clutter. And this kind of goes along with the third one, but you have to know how to maintain that organized space. Once you get rid of your items and you have a clear space, you need to know how not to bring in more items. So it's a great thing to get rid of bags and bags of clothes if you're not wearing them and using them. But if you're still going out to the mall and shopping the racks and bringing in bags and bags of clothes, then you just defeated the whole purpose of what you just did with decluttering. So I definitely believe that you need to learn how to stop bringing in the items as well. I did write a blog post about this a few weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, about how to have a clutter-free home. And one of those things is knowing your style, knowing your clothes style, so that you're not out there buying all these random items that don't fit your style in your life. Knowing your home decor style, so you're not out there buying all these little trinkets that just become clutter. And so I will link that blog post below so that you can check that out if you want to see that. There's a printable that goes along with it to kind of help you determine what your style is. But yeah, so it's a continual process. You have to keep thinking about, how am I going to maintain my home? So that's my kind of honest review about the KonMari method and that book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. Let me know, what did you think about this book? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you somewhere in the middle? Thanks for watching.